Hello, viewers. I'm Kazi Farooq, student of Coders Trust, Bangladesh, batch number CTG Online 425. This video is about my assignment. Assignment name is Build a Node.js CRUD API using Mongoose. So we have some requirements. These are the requirements. First is database, use MongoDB. Second, use ORM Mongoose to define schema and interact with MongoDB database. Server use Express.js to handle routes and HTTP requests. API structure create resource for managing books with the following fields: field name, title, author, published year, genre, available, and also we have the types of each fields. Expose the following endpoints: post, get, put, delete. So then we have validation, add basic validation to the schema like required fields. And then we have to handle the error like invalid IDs, missing data, and return appropriate HTTP status code and error messages. Testing. Use a tool like Postman to test your API endpoints and ensure they work as expected. So let us open VS Code, and this is my project name, Mongo. I have package.json. Here are the dependencies: Express, Mongoose, and Node1. Let's start the file index.js. What we have in the index.js: first, require Express, require Mongoose. We take it here, Express, and here the Mongoose. Create instance by using Express function. We define port number. Then we use Express.json. Middleware is used to parse incoming JSON data in request bodies. Then we start the server and start listening. Port 5000. When server is running, we send console log with this message with the port number. Then we create function, asynchronous function. We use try and catch block. This portion is when it is successfully working. That means Mongoose has a method connect, and connect using connection string. So when it connects to the server, we send this message. We console this message. If there is an error, we send this message. Then we connect. Then here we define the schema. So these are the fields, and we are also asked to have a required field, which is the basic validations. We also have minimum, maximum value, that is also validations. This is also validation. Default value, that is also a default validation. Then we use Mongoose model method. The model method take name, collection name, and here we put the book schema which we defined here. This is the book schema. Then we have function. This function using post method. This is the path. We have synchronous function. It has two parameter, request and response. So we take request body, which is given by the client. We have here try catch block, and this create method is creating the data in the database, which is the book collection. The book data we are receiving through request body. When it's successful, we send this code and we display this message. When it's error, we try to see if this error, then we send these messages. We are returning these messages, and also we are returning this code. If it's not, then we send this HTTP status code, and we're sending these messages. This function, what it is doing, this function is fetching all records. So book collection has a method find. The find method will collect all the records from the book collection, and it will put here. Then we send this message with the all book list. We also send this HTTP status code. If it has any error, we put this code and we display the error. We have another function with parameter. We use get method. We receive the param and we put it in the ID object. Book collection has a function method find by ID. Find by ID receive the ID and it's return the record. If it does not find any record, we display this message. If it can find the record, we display this message with this code. If there is any error, we display this message. We have update function. We use put method. This is the path and this is the parameter. We receive parameter through params. We put in the ID. We also receive request body and we put it in the updated data. Book collection has a function method find by ID and update. So when it finds, it updates. But we have to give in the value here and it will search through this ID. If we set parameter here true, that means updated record will be returned here. If we set value true here, this is the validation. Validation will be activated or enabled. So when it find the record and it will update. If it cannot find the record, then we display this message with this code. If it's find and it will update and we show here updated value with this code. If there is an error, first we check what kind of error. If the error is this kind, we put here the error messages. Otherwise, we send this code with this message. Especially when user send user send the parameter and the parameter should be the ID. The ID has to be the same format, otherwise it will return this message. Finally, we have delete function. We use delete method, this path with this parameter. We receive parameter here and then we have a Mongoose book collection, this method find by ID and delete, and this method require an ID, so we get the ID from parameters. So when it finds the record, it deletes. If it cannot find the record, then it will say this message. If it gets the record, then we send this message, because when it get the record, that means it's already deleted. If there is any other error, like from the client side putting the invalid format of ID, it sends this message. So these are the code, and let's test it now through Thunder client. First, let's check what we have in the database. So we read the book collections. In this path, we have get method and send it. Nothing is there because our project is not running. So let's start the index.js and we run there. So it's starting the server and listening the port, and also it will connect to the database. Okay, connected. So it's done up to here. Then also it creates the book table and waiting for this function. So let's call this function. Before that, we call this function and see how many records is there. So it will fetch all records, all books. So this is the read, this is the path, and we'll send it. And we have these records. So let's check the last one. Gets by 13 is the last record. So we create one more record. So after 13 it will be 14. Let's see. We have here create, and we put post, and we have this path, and we have the body, and the body contains JSON, and these are the field and value. Field and value. Let's test it. Remove this value and we try to uh, send it. It says author error in author, no value. So we put back the author. We put back the author, and this is the 14. The ID is this one. So we check also this function. We put this ID and it will return our record. So book is found, and this is the record. Gets by 14, and this is the record. Then we update. So we call the update and we put the same path. So we put here, this is the parameter. We put the ID, and let us check also. Remove the author name. Try to test it. It's giving the error. Author, no value. Put back the author and put here 1976 and update. It's updated with this 1976, but it's not saying what is this record about. So we can put that message record is updated. So we can put here, it's displaying here. So we can put here formatted message like this one, message, put the message here, updated and then display the book. And if we test it now again, we connect it and now change it like 77. Okay, very good. It's been updated and 1977 record updated. And finally we'll test the delete function. This is the delete function and here is the delete. Put the same ID. This is the ID and this record we want to delete. No, not this one. This one we want to delete. So we send the parameter here and we use delete method, this path, and this is the parameter. Book deleted successfully. So it's gone. So we cannot find this record anymore if we fetch all our records. So it's gone. No more recording. So that is the test. Okay, thank you.